love story.
Very good evening, everyone. I'm Felipe Pereira, and we are here with the Love Talk Show, where you can learn about the intelligent love. Today, we are here with this couple, this young couple, Pastor Jaciel and Miss Rafaela. Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening.
Good
I'm
evening, Pastor.
doing very well, Pastor, and all
Yeah.
the listeners.
To break the ice here for you to just understand how the program goes, we are going to hear flash questions. Flash questions, flash answers, right? And then afterwards we explain better. Who fell in love first?
We didn't. I believe we
I
didn't
think
have.
well, at the same
was,
time.
Yeah, it was
The
both.
same trick.
Yeah.
Okay, together. Who is more jealous?
No, don't have.
Okay.
This.
All right. Who is more romantic? No, don't have. No.
Maybe I would say me.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yes.
All right. So then, who takes longer getting ready to leave the house? Pastor Isaac,
think
Miss
depends.
Rafaela.
It depends, but yeah, it's half.
Depends
and
on
half.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on the occasion.
Okay, all right. Who eats more?
My
That's
husband.
me. That's for sure. That's no brainer.
Yeah. So who drives better?
Myself.
Oh, really, Pastor Isaac? So let's see. Who takes longer to shower?
That's me.
That's you?
My
Oh,
husband.
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was easy.
Who gets stressed easier?
Why you look at me?
That's a good question, huh? And then, flash questions, flash answers. Let's see.
Questions. Which one?
Myself.
I'm gonna leave it for that one.
All right. So you give her the credit. Huh? Who is more forgetful?
I think that's me for sure.
Yes.
Yeah?
My husband.
Who is more clumsy? You know, clumsy is
Yes,
like
yes.
break the things, fall down.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, who likes to sleep more?
I would say me.
Yeah.
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 Okay. After work, no?
Yeah.
Who expenses more?
It's more expensive.
No, who is expenses more? Who like? How can I explain it? You
Yeah, I spend.
like
Spends more. Spends more. Okay.
who goes there to the shop or the store and buy more things and so on, clothes. So, all right. The credit card must be kept from the other one.
Well,
Myself.
that one. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Who likes to go out more?
That's my wife.
That's your wife.
Yeah.
And the question of 1 million pounds. Who is more organized? This is we have a lot of not arguments, but a lot of dispute here. Who is more organized?
That's a bit controversial, but I would say,
Half.
yeah, half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we enter in
To
an
be fair,
agreement
yeah.
today. Finally, Shad, we enter in an agreement today. Because usually the men say, no, I am more organized, and the woman say, no, but I am more organized. With certain things, everyone has their own way of organizing things, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how was Pastor Isaac there when you did you grow up in the church? No.
No, I didn't. I came,
When did you come to church?
came to the church. I was very young. I was about 15.
15. So how was your background? How was your parents? How was your family? What examples did you have at home?
So I grew up with both of my parents.
Uh-huh.
They were married from, I would say, a fairly young age as well themselves. And obviously they were always united together, but at the same time in the house I witnessed a lot of fightings, arguments. There was never a case of them considering to separate or get divorced, but it was a thing where they would never get along. Some points there was some physical abuse as well. And I would say that the reason of those fights of them too. I think it's because at the time my dad he had a problem with alcoholism, so he had addictions with alcohol, and that would turn him a very aggressive man, very violent man.
And how did it affect you? You have seen your father fighting with your mom with constant arguments. They were together, but in the same time they were like living different lives. How did it affect you?
Oh,
Did it affect you at first?
That affected me, but I would say that I only realized how much it affects me later on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, growing up, that was very difficult for me because, for instance, in school, I would see, let's say, the parents of my colleagues getting together, or when it was a parents' meeting, I would see their parents or the father figure present. But in my case, I wouldn't see my father present in anything. So, yeah, I used to do sports as well. So I would never see my dad kind of present and motivate me, encourage me because of his struggles with his addictions.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually realized how that impacted me later on because seeing that situation happen in my house, I decided to myself, I'm never gonna do this. I'm never gonna be like, it's not that I didn't like him, I didn't love him, but for sure I didn't appreciate his behavior at all. So I saw that as a way of me basically not as able to follow, if I put in these words. And the reason why I said that affects me in life is because growing up, I actually started having the same behavior as my dad had.
Mm-hmm.
So I start, partying, clubbing, drinking, and becoming a humanized as well. And the worst was the aggressive behavior because I couldn't control myself. I was always nervous.
And you see, we look Pastor Isaac today, we see the peace in person. If we see him calm and always like on his mind, and he's saying about his background is something that we wouldn't imagine.
Indeed, because it was a completely different case.
Can you just come a little bit closer here? Because, because then
Is
your
it
camera...
better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
So it was a completely different case because I was actually very, very aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't control my anger, had anger issues. And obviously that started to affect all kinds of relationships I had in my life.
Okay. And how about you, Miss Rafaela? Can you just bring the mic a little bit closer? Yes. How about you? How was your background? How was growing up? Did you grow up in the church?
Yes, I grew up in the church. Like, I
All
came
right.
to church when I was 6 or 7 years old.
Uh-huh.
Like, I had good examples in the church. But back then, like, at home, I saw a lot of fights inside of my house. I was even sharing earlier, like, I remember a time that I went to the police station because of the fights that my parents used to have inside of our house.
Even though they were in the church?
My mother, this before
Coming to church?
coming to church.
Yeah, right.
Yes, so but later on my parents got divorced.
Uh-huh.
But like the police used to come to our house. It was a lot of fights, even among other family members as well.
Why did these fights happen? Do you have any reason? You're just a child, but do you have an idea? Because Pastor Jaciel, he said he saw the fights because his father had a problem with alcoholism, right?
Yes.
He had an addiction with alcohol. And there in your house, what was the problem? What was the issue?
My parents didn't have any, how can I say, addictions. But the thing is, my mother used to be very nervous.
Mm-hmm.
So this used to affect a lot. And my father was very immature by the time. So he used to do things, and my mother used to get very nervous against the situation. So that was the problem inside of our house.
You said that there are situations that even called the police. Why? There was physical fight, aggression. What was physical abuse, or how was it?
Yeah, they used to get a point like to attack each other.
Mm-hmm.
So my mother used to run to the police station, and like the police used to know as
To know
already.
already the case. All right, the couple again and so
Yes,
on.
because it was always the same situation, the same problem.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And how do you think this did affect your life, in your love life in the future? You grew up in the church, but and did it affect your life?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I became.
How did it affect your life?
I became as my mother used to be before. So very nervous and like insecure as well because of the situation that my parents used to have at home.
Uh-huh.
And when they got divorced, I was 10 by the time. So this really affected my studies.
So then they got divorced when you were 10.
Yes.
I can have an idea how you would feel, because when I grew up without my father also. But how did it affect your life? How did it affect your mind? How it was a big issue for you?
Yes, because I grew up, even though after I came to the church and I moved to this country as well. I was coming, but it was a point that I left like the church. And I was seeking, I left the church because of my love life. I met somebody and then I said, no, this is the person. But the thing is, like, I was seeking for love, seeking for attention.
To be loved. Yeah,
Yes.
someone that would care for you, someone who would protect you, someone who would be looking after you for not happen the same as happened with your mother.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, possible. I was looking like for father figure.
Okay.
I can say that, to protect me, like to love me, to care for me, because I never had that. I had my mother, but my father figure, I never had that.
It's not. It seems it's not the same. Like when you grew up like this, the person is looking for someone,
Yes.
right?
Pastor.
So then you got involved in a relationship. How was this relationship? How? You found what you're Did you find what you were looking for?
No.
No.
Because like was worse than my parents' relationship, because we used to be.
Worse than your parents' relationship.
Yes.
My goodness, they would go to the police station. Imagine this relationship, Pastor Isaac.
Yeah, like we used to betray each other. We used to have a lot of fights as well. We never had the case to go to the police station, but like we used to have a lot of fights.
Physical fights.
Physical fights, like arguing as well. But I
Uh-huh.
think the worst point was like betraying each other. That was the.
So you're looking
point.
for someone to protect you. You didn't find. You start looking. You keep looking for it, right?
Yes, Pastor.
So this thing really affected your life. So both of you came to the church with different backgrounds, different situations. But I was saying yesterday here in the program with the singles talk, that everyone have a different experience. So imagine Miss Rafaela with the luggage of seeing her parents being divorced, in a relationship in a very young age. You said that you even you moved in to live with the guy, right?
Yes, Pastor.
How old was the guy at the time?
I was 17 and he was 9 years older than me.
9 years older. And when you're a teenager, or when you're by this age, 9 years is a big difference.
It's a big difference.
It's a huge difference, and then it's a different mentality. The environment is different. The friendships that they are different. The things that they are being through is completely different, right? But
Yeah.
like you said, you are looking for like a father, someone who would take care of you, and that's the reason why you go for older guy, right? So both of you came to the church with the life messed up, with a lot of experience, bad experience, but then you start attending to the church. How was coming to the church? What did you learn for you, Pastor Isaac? What did you grow, develop? What changed? What did you learn that was different from what you have learned in the world?
Well, it was really for me a great opportunity, because when I came to the church, it was the first time I heard that my life could change, and I never heard that before in my life. So on the first time I heard that, in the first time I stepped foot in the church, so I just embraced that. I said, okay, I might as well just give a try. I have got nothing to lose. Let us see. Because if what they're saying is true, my life will change. So I started coming, I started attending, and obviously that was my process. Get delivered, all the lifestyle I had, all the things I was involved in. And from that, then obviously I received the Holy Spirit and
The altar of love, the
altar
one
of
that
love, yes.
direct you how to do things in a proper way.
Yes.
Yeah, the one who teaches all things.
Exactly. That was made totally difference in my life because now with him inside of me, I could apply what I was receiving here in the church. And obviously, and then I got raised as an assistant. So at first, in my first years in the church,
And when did you start investing on your love life? Was at first when you since you arrived in the church, you start investing on your love life, or you thought, no, I don't need it?
well, at first, it's not that I thought I didn't need, it's because I just thought I was very young. Because when I came, I was about 15. So I was in the youth groups, and I was not really focusing much in my love life. I was focusing more in my spiritual side, my salvation, growing in my faith. But then after, how can I say, I solved this part of my life, which was my spiritual part. Then I think about 5 years later, I started to attend the love therapy.
Wow, it took 5 years for you to start attending to the love therapy.
Yes.
Oh, that's many people, they have this in mind. I need to focus on my spiritual life. But we know that the spiritual life works also together with the love life, right? And this is an advice for you who are listening to us. Sometimes you say like this, no, Pastor, I will invest first in my spiritual life. But if you have come to the love therapy, you are going to see that we work together. They are not two different things. They are related somehow. So, yes, he took 5 years for him to start coming. He started investing on in the love life. And now we are going to listen about it. But how about you? Perhaps you have the same thought, because Pastor Isaac, yesterday I was talking to the youth. Two of the youth, they said the following: Pastor, I thought was cringe coming to the love therapy. And the other one said, Pastor, no, I was all focused on my spiritual life and so on, and my finances. I was focused on growing, and then I put aside my love life. And this is a mistake many people makes. You cannot put your love life aside. Love life is the second area more important in your life. First is your spiritual life, and afterwards is your love life. Right? Yeah. So, Miss Rafaela, how you came to the church? You leave the church because of your love life. Did you come back to the church because of your love life?
By the time I came back, because I want something serious with God, but my heart was broken by the time, and somebody invited me to come to the love therapy. Back then, when I used to come to the church before, I heard somebody saying, "Oh, you don't need to come because you are too young, and if you come, you..."
The same old story. Focus on your spiritual life and so on. Yeah. Before, we used to have this thought that investing on the love life was not something important. We could leave it for afterwards. After you have everything, then you go after your love life. This was a mistake we used to make before.
Yes, once and after I realized how the mistake that I made.
Because you left the church because of your love life.
Yes.
So then you should invest on it.
Yes, Pastor. So returning to the church, I started to attend the love therapy. I went through the spiritual process and everything, but I saw the importance after that I came to come to attend, and that really.
How long after you came to the church you start investing on your love life?
I think it was a month.
A month? Oh, that's...
Yeah.
That's different for me.
That's different. You see, different background, different way of dealing with the love life.
Yes, because I was.
But did it help your spiritual life also?
Yes, Pastor. I realized how important it was for me to come to the love therapy, because that was helping me spiritually. Because I was suffering, I decided to leave everything behind, especially this relationship, because this was impeding me to grow spiritually. So I
Was
said,
it hard for you to let go of the relationship, even though you have, we can consider it an abusive relationship? Was it hard for you to let go?
was Pastor? Because
Yeah.
yes,
Why was it hard?
because of the feelings, because of the feelings,
Emotions, the attachment.
the emotions. Because of I was with the person for 7 years,
Wow.
so that I
That's,
was really attached to
building
the
a life, yeah.
yes, I was really attached to the person. But I made a decision. I said, no, I don't want this to my life anymore, and I'm gonna look straight. I'm not gonna look back.
Move forward.
I'm gonna move forward, and I coming, learning. I received the Holy Spirit, and as you said before, I received the offer of love.
So what changed when Pastor Isaac, he said he was able to control himself, right?
Yes, yes.
So you're able to control your anger, you're able to control yourself, you calm down after you receive the altar of love.
Yeah.
How was this experience for you? The baptism with the Holy Spirit, the altar of love.
Well, for me, that was the best day of my life, because also, I didn't mention, but I think I was a person that I wouldn't believe in myself. I would always think that other people that were better than me, even though I had all the qualifications. But I was always think that the other people was always better than me. So I wouldn't believe in myself. I had anger issues.
Low self-esteem, complexes.
Yeah, not much, but I would think this thing that this person, maybe they are better than me. Let's say
They deserve more.
they deserve more than me. So I couldn't believe in myself much, and things that would definitely put my life back. That would impede me from developing my best of my abilities.
So this is the one of the greatest change you have after you receive the altar of love.
Exactly.
Yeah. How about you, Miss Rafaela? What is the difference you see after receiving the altar of love?
I became like a new person, because the person that I used to be before, the behavior that I used to have, the thoughts that I used to have, I had depression, and because of this relationship
that was
and
happening in life.
everything. So inside of me, I used to like the happiness that was looking in other people, like I received when I.
Can you say
have-
also that you found the Father you're looking for?
Yes, Pastor. I even remember the day that I received the Holy Spirit. Oh, it was so amazing that on that day that God said, "Oh, I am with you. I'll take care of you. I forgive you for the things that you did." And I felt like, oh, I don't deserve all of this. And it was so amazing.
It's a great experience, right?
Yes.
So investing on your love life. Pastor Isaac, Pastor Jaciel or Pastor Isaac? How I call you? I'm still with this question since I started the program.
Yeah, my name is Jaciel, but my
Jaciel.
nickname is Isaac.
So,
whichever you
Pastor
prefer.
Isaac, Jaciel, Isaac. What you prefer, Pastor
You can call me Isaac, yeah.
Isaac.
Don't mind, yes.
Pastor Isaac? So, after investing on your love life, what change on your mentality, or what you start doing to be successful? Today you're married, you're blessed married, you're new. You just got married almost a month ago, almost a year ago. Sorry,
Yeah.
and we are going there. But until you get there, what did you learn in the love therapy that helps you?
What I learned was, I would say, the intelligent love, because for what I brought from home, that would have helped me in life, because unfortunately, not because my parents didn't want, but they couldn't give me a good example in their marriage because of the things they went through. So when I came to the seminars, to the love therapy, what really caught my attention was the real life case, the testimonies, because I saw that those people, what they were talking about, the experience their life was something true, was genuine. So what I wouldn't see, let's say, from my parents' marriage. So that's what caught my attention to the love therapy. I started attending.
When you
learning.
say the love, the intelligent love, what do you mean, the intelligent love?
It's the love that we learn here, because it's completely from the love of outside, the love that we see on magazines, on TV, on the movies, the culture of those. Because the love outside is led by what you feel, is led by your heart. And the problem with this type of love is that, let's say, when you really need it, it's not going to help you to solve issues in your love life or in your marriage. So that's why this type of love, it fails. But the intelligent love is what equips us with tools and drive us through this journey of marriage, of love life, relationships, and make it successful. So coming to the love therapy, I started to learn and develop these tools even as a single, because I started to work on myself first. Even before getting to any relationship, I started working on myself first. So that helped me a lot to understand, things that I should do inside of a relationship, how I should behave, how I should act, how my mindset should be, that would lead me to now have a blessed marriage, a happy relationship.
And that's great how God works, nah?
Exactly.
He teaches us to do things that we couldn't even imagine. I can tell it by myself that when I start learning about the intelligent love, God taught me so many things that and we start applying it, and seeing the results of it. It's so great. How about you, Miss Rafaela? What you learned that called your attention until you found Pastor Isaac?
To value myself, Pastor. And like one thing that I was thinking, like I learned that when I came to the love therapy, like I need to value myself.
And you said before that you are afraid of coming to the love therapy because you said you need to focus on your spiritual life, or you said even before the program, I thought the love therapy was just for those who are anxious about their love life, but it's not. Many people, they have this thought, the love therapy is only for you to find someone, or just for those who are anxious about their love life. And it's not. The love therapy is for those who want to take care of themselves, to learn. The love therapy is more about yourself than your partner. You're going to learn things that you apply. If your partner is not coming yet, if you're married or dating and your partner is not coming yet, so then you will learn for yourself. And the single one, you should be here, because it's not just to find someone, but it's to invest on yourself. Am I right, Miss Rafaela?
Yes, Pastor. Like something that my husband, he was sharing before. Because when I returned to the church, I had this mentality as well. Like, I don't want to focus about now on love life, relationship.
Will be the last one.
Because I just came from this
broken relationship, messy relationship.
Yes, but when somebody came to me, spoke to me, and said, "No, go, because you need to invest." And I said, okay, I'm gonna give you a chance. Like I'm gonna go.
All right, God, I will give you a chance. God, I will give you a chance to bless me. Yeah, was it like this?
Yeah. So when I came, wasn't like about to meet somebody. No, it was to invest on myself, to heal the roots that was there, to go back.
To
the
fix
wounds.
the problems. What else?
And not to also, like, something that I learned, not to be led by my heart, because in the past I commit many mistakes because of my heart. So I'm not gonna give space anymore to my heart to shout out and take control.
Heart, keep shut a little bit.
Yeah.
And let the mind think first. Let the mind speak. Let the intelligent love, like Pastor Isaac said. And then you didn't get to know each other in the love therapy.
No.
How was it? Who approached first? Who came first? How was the to know after you're healed, you took care of yourself, you learned the intelligent love, you saw testimonies, and then you said, now it's my turn. I see the blessings in the other people. Now it's my turn. How did you get to know each other?
So we got to know each other through friends in common that obviously knew both of us, and I think the person saw that we could become like a potential couple.
Oh, I see this one, and I see this one. Oh, they can they can match here.
Yes.
So then, how was it? Who approached first?
Well, we got to know. We met at the same time. We met each other.
How was it? Like in the church? It was
Yeah,
like
was
this friend said, "Oh, you're going to get to know prepare yourself today. You're going there to the church. You're going to meet this person." Or how was it?
Well, the place we meet up was in the church, but it was funny because by then it was during the lockdown, the first lockdown.
Yes.
So
In the lockdown, my friend, oh, you see, God worked miracles. If God made them to meet each other in the lockdown, imagine now that there is no lockdown. You can find the love of your life.
Yeah.
So tell me, Pastor Isaac.
So we meet up in the church, but then I invited her out. But there was no places open. There was only a coffee shop near here.
Really?
But that's a bit funny because neither of us drinks coffee. Neither of us actually
All
likes
right,
coffee.
let's go to the coffee shop to do what? To get some water there.
But there's a story behind of this because
So share with us the story, please. Now it's the interesting part.
Yeah.
I mean, not all the testimony was interesting, but now people want to know how you get to know each other. How was this fun story?
do you want to continue?
I mean, so we just meet up. We went out, but obviously there was nowhere open. Everything was closed. So there was just this coffee shop. Then we went there. I took her there. But then inside of me, whilst we were in the queue, I was thinking, my goodness, if she asks coffee, I also gonna to ask for myself, even though I don't like. But inside of me, I was like this. But then she came and said, no, I don't drink coffee. I don't like this. And I think what do you take? I don't even remember.
I think a tea.
Something like that.
Okay, very British.
Yeah. And then that was the first day. That was the first date. And then I think we went out to just talk a little bit in the park, right?
Yes, to know more about each other.
To know more about each other, to speak. Went to the park and start talking. The first day was really great because obviously prior to that we didn't know each other.
Have you seen each other in the church? And
Yeah,
we've
seen around. I've seen her. I knew of her, but we never talked. We never.
No, because
never
Pastor
talked.
James, he said he would see Miss Karina, he would see her, and he would say, "Oh, she's the one." Did it happen with you, or you just see, it's a man of God, a woman of God?
No, because I didn't mention, but before I met her, I actually was in a relationship before. That I stayed with this person for some time, but it didn't work out. So that's why, obviously, I saw her here in the church, but I never had these eyes of, let me know her. But afterwards, when we start actually to know each other, then we start to literally know each other, because even though we saw her, but we never spoke, so I didn't know nothing about her, and she didn't know nothing about me.
How long did you talk?
5 days.
Before
5
dating?
days. Because I'll explain, because... I'll explain this. In person, we had 5 days because I actually had a travel booked, so I was going to travel abroad.
Oh.
So that's why in a space of 5 days, we're seeing each other and get to know each other and speak.
In 5 days?
In 5 days.
And then when you start dating, how long after?
4 months.
4 months after. 4 months after.
So how was this communication? What country did you go?
I was in Turkey.
Turkey. What's the time zone there? Is the same here?
From the UK, I think it's plus 2 hours.
Plus 2 hours. So how was the communication? Skype, Zoom?
I think it was
WhatsApp?
FaceTime. FaceTime, WhatsApp. We call and speak. So in this process, we were talking for a couple of months. Then we started dating, but even start dating was a bit of distance until actually came over, and then we started
To date and talking and
yes.
getting to know each other. Yeah. How long did you date? 4 months talking. How long did you date?
After talking, I think was more 6 months.
6 months.
Yes,
Yeah.
something like
About
that.
10 months,
Yes.
less than a year.
Yes.
Yeah, less than a year. In total was
And then
around 11 months.
engage and get married, just get married afterwards.
Kind of good, just
All right, you
Because the way the
knew
things
what you wanted, and that you believe
Yeah,
was
we
the
knew what we
woman of God,
wanted.
you believe was the man of God, right?
Yes, because during this process of us talking, so we used to ask a lot of questions to each other because, as I mentioned, we saw each other in just 5 days. So every day I would take her out, we would speak, we'd talk, but we didn't know much of each other. So in this process of us talking, we'd most of the times just like be asking questions,
To really get to know each other.
Yeah,
To really do what you're supposed to. Because many people, when they are dating, they are worried about kissing, holding hands, hugging, and many other things. Those things are important, that they need to have this attraction. However, the most important thing while you are dating is to get to know each other. Because when you get married, then you're going to be able to hug and kiss all the time. You're going to be together. But if you don't know the person, and if the person is the right man or right woman of God, so then it will be pointless, all this attraction and so on, right? So the most important, you done it. That was to get to know each other.
Yes, was saying like we never, even though there was he was abroad, like I never felt like alone or like
Feel
he's,
lonely or missing.
yeah, I
Oh,
miss him. Of course, like I just saw him for
5
days. I have contact with him just for 5 days, and after like he was at another side of the world, and
So basically, you have 5 days, like, to let me do the thing in the proper way. So
Yeah.
then you get the other extra mile. Otherwise, if you didn't do it proper in the 5 days, if you didn't build a nice friendship in these 5 days, perhaps.
Yeah, nothing would happen because I remember the last day I took her to the train station, but then we didn't like settle anything, so we didn't know if we would continue from there or what would happen. But then I remember we there at the train station, then I approached and said, "Look, well, what do you think? So, what do you think? What do you want?" And then she came to me and said, "Oh, let the will of God be done." I said, "Okay, man, let the will of God be done." But I asked, "But what's Rafaela's will? What do you want?"
Yeah, the decision, huh?
Decision. She was a bit timid, but no, I want to continue talking. And so when I traveled abroad, so I had decided, so okay, we're gonna have something then. And from there we start to build, as you said.
I have someone to go back. I am not just living without anyone.
Yeah, with uncertainty. So we start to build up this friendship, by talking, get to know each other. We start to build up this friendship. And from then, after, like she mentioned, 4 months, then we knew what we both wanted. Then we started to get
6
to
months,
relationship, yeah.
you're married.
Yes.
And then now, how long you're married? Almost a year? About a year?
It's been 7 months.
7 months.
now.
So then it's honeymoon yet. And honeymoon, if I ask right now, how is you're married, it's going to say honeymoon. Adjusting many things, getting used to each other. I've been there before. I know the 7 months, 1 year, you're adjusting some things, but overall is honeymoon.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So that's great. So, and you who are listening to us, thank you so much for sharing your story. Some people, they are saying here, so powerful, the story of both of you, the luggage, the experience you have. When we see some young couples, we think, what will they give to us? What will they share? Even you said to me, what am I going to share there? I don't know. But you have stories. You have things that happen. You have your story for sure is helping many other people. Singles who right now they are like, Pastor, what am I going to do? My friend, don't be so unbeliever. They got to know each other when there was a lockdown. Who would say that in the lockdown they would get to know each other? Who would say that in less than a year they would get married? Would you say that?
I would never
I was not
think
expecting.
So you see, who in the world would say that? But when God wants, when it's the will of God, like she said, let the will of God be done. So the will of God was done in your life. So you who are listening our program, you single, you should join the love therapy. Why should you love? But Shad, give me the here, face to face, eye to eye. You single who are listening the program right now, why are you wasting your time and not joining the love therapy? Pastor, I'm too young. Pastor, I am focused on my spiritual life. Pastor, I have other things. When you're going to start in your love life? So make an effort to come here to join this. It might be the opportunity of your life, of knowing the person or knowing someone who will introduce the person that will be your future husband and wife. Our address, as you're seeing right now in the screen, is Rainbow Theater 2327 Sisters Road, NE4 3NX. God bless you all. Have a blessed day and a wonderful week.
The Love Talk Show on Liberty Radio.